Hey, David.
Hey, Vince.
You had laid out some of the different factors that you guys were debating around the decision of when to put Vitaly Kravtsov in. So why did this feel like the right time?
He's been practicing well. He's got enough time with us here. And I just thought it was a good time to get him in.
Next question comes from Molly Walker. Molly, go ahead.
Hey, David, what line will Kravtsov be on?
Kravtsov will play with Hedel and Lafreniere. He'll play the right wing.
Next question comes from Mark Roseman. Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, and what's the fourth line going to look like now?
Blackwell will be on the left, Rooney in the middle, and Gauthier on the right.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Mark again. Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, so we talked about that fourth line, and you said about them, we compared them to what the Islanders' fourth line brings.
Right.
And that's the line. So what have you spoken to Julian about it and some of the things you expect from him? Because obviously in the past he's been a scorer. Now that might change a little bit. What are some of the things you told him are important on that line that he needs to focus on?
Yeah, well, things we've been talking with him and every player here about their defensive responsibilities, recognizing the situation coming back into our end, not trying to do too much defensively, not puck watching. I think sometimes we get into trouble as a group, not just Julian. We get into trouble as a group when we puck watch. And to me, lately, that's been one of our problems defensively. I think we've given up a little too much in the middle of the rink lately, where I think we've been pretty sound throughout the season. But it seems like in the last week to 10 days, we've gotten away from that. And it's something that we as a group have to get back to doing what we were doing for the first 6-7 weeks of the season, where we were very sound defensively, not giving up a lot of slot chances, and playing sound defensively. So, not only Julian, but everybody that we have has to get back to, simplifying things defensively and protecting the middle of the rink.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson. Colin, go ahead.
Hi, Dave. Can you tell us why Vitaly goes in on the third line and not the fourth line? Is there a stylistic thing that where he's better suited to one line as opposed to the other? And also, as far as playing the right wing versus the left wing, do you have guys that, like the young guys, you want to keep them on one side? Like, for instance, would Lafreniere be strictly a left wing versus a left wing or a right wing? Would Kravtsov strictly be a right wing? Would Gauthier strictly be a right wing? Is that something that plays into it as well?
Yeah, every guy's got a little bit of different comfort level playing the offside. I think the Russians in particular feel comfortable playing their offsides. So again, every player is different. It's kind of like, you talk about defensemen that can play their offside. Some guys are more comfortable than others playing on their offside, and it's the same thing with forwards.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
David, you've had a lot of guys make their NHL debut under you. So is there a common message that you give that you've learned from those experiences, or is it different for each guy? Like, have you had a chance to talk to Vitaly about what to expect tonight and all that?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a little bit different today because there's not 18,000 people in the building, so it is a little bit of a different experience. But, to me, they've played hockey their whole lives. The game doesn't change much. I mean, it is a National Hockey League game, but, he's been preparing this for his whole life. And the number one thing you want them to do is enjoy it. And, there will be nerves that they'll go away quickly once you get a couple shifts under your belt. But don't try to do too much. I think, for a young player, when they get into a lineup, just play your game. Don't try to do too much. Do the things that got you here and enjoy the moment.